Shit in this club, shit in this club, shit in this club.
Gabriel P. Grayson. This is La-Troy Farrow, the head basketball coach at Kennedy King in Chicago. Coach, first question, I'll just come right out of the gate and ask you, for people who may not know your journey, how did basketball shape your path into coaching?
Oh, a great question. I'll say I always knew I was going to be a coach, even though when I was a player, right? So, I kind of went through um, the route of unsought out player. I went to junior college right out. I went to Calhoun, nationally ranked junior college in Alabama. That's where I started, and then I transferred to an NAIA, which we ended up being nationally ranked and lost in the Final Four. Barrett College, which has since closed, was purchased by DePaul, but we had a great run. Had a lot of success there, and I finished at Kentucky Wesleyan. But through my journey as a player, even as a high schooler, my coach kind of took me under his wing. He was an assistant coach at the University of Dayton, so I was really fortunate to have really good coaches coming through. One of my coaches when I was at my NA, well, I'll start with my junior college, was an NBA veteran, great coach, John Douglas. After that, I was fortunate to play for Chris D'Elio, which was the all-time leading winningest coach in CBA history, right? You're not familiar with the CBA. That was before the G League and the D League. That's where all the 10-day contracts came from. So, very high level, and he's all-time winningest coach. And then from that, I played at Kentucky Wesleyan, which is a historically, just successful program. When I arrived, had gone to six straight national championship games, right? So under Ray Harper, who's now a really successful Division One coach as well. So I always knew I was going to coach, so I kind of took it in as a player. I was fortunate enough to start my career out in the CBA, very high level, an opportunity a lot of young people don't get. At that, like Ronnie Fields and guys that played in the NBA like Stace Bozeman, Teddy Dupay was there, Carson Cunningham, just a plethora of talent, playing against other guys that were NBA players, up and down guys. So after that, I went to Gannon University. I was a lead recruiter there. We had a lot of success. You guys lost in the Elite Eight, the national tournament. So I was there for 3 years, and I really wanted to start my journey as a head coach. Um, so at that point, I took a semi-pro job in the PBL. We ended up winning the conference, had a lot of success. Then I took over a brand new upstart program in the city of Chicago, had a lot of success there. Urban Prep, we ended up winning our conference and moving up. And then from there, I went to the other campus, and we won 5 straight conference championships and had a lot of success there. At that point, I wanted to get back to college. The job here at Kennedy King opened up. I've been here in the Chicagoland area for over 20 years, and it's kind of full circle. I remember trying out for my NAIA coach, and we were at Kennedy King. So the program was down. I think this is my third year. The first year we won the conference championship right out of the gate. Second year we finished second, and now this year we're tied 3-0 in conference with two other programs. The league is really doing well overall. So that's kind of a quick synopsis of how I got here.
So, what made Kennedy King the right place for you? Like, are you from Chicago or?
No, originally I'm from Louisville, Kentucky. Um, so when I came up for school at the NAIA school, which is Barrett College, it's right. It was in Lake Forest, right outside of the Chicagoland area. I always loved Chicago. My ex wife is from Chicago, and when I took the job at Gannon University, which is in Pennsylvania, my wife, we had our first child, and she wanted to get back closer to family. So that's when we relocated back to Chicagoland area. I've been here ever since. So I live close. The high school. I've coached in high school here for like 15 years. That's
When people watch Kennedy King play, what do you want them to immediately recognize about your team?
I think we're a hard nosed defensive team. I think we're unselfish. We play as a unit, and we'd like to get up and down. But we want to play fast, but not in a hurry, right? We still want to. We know when you get playoff time, it comes into a half court game. So throughout the season, you have to be able to execute. You know, and focus on certain players, certain weaknesses from the other team. So you have to be disciplined in that aspect. So I want to get after you defensively, and I want to push it offensively, but I want to also play with discipline and togetherness.
When you've already had some pretty good success there, as you were telling us earlier, what does success look like for your program, like beyond wins and losses?
Oh well, I think character is at the forefront of everything we do. Right. Some of the pillars of our program: integrity, accountability, selflessness. Right. Those kind of things are what transcend sport. Right. That make you a successful. And I coach on the men's side. I'm also the athletic director, but from the men's side, making them young men that can be positive impacts on society. So it's so much better. And one of the things when I recruit any young person, I sit down. I was like, look, uh, the ball stops bouncing. I said, I'm 46 years old now, and it doesn't look like it, but I used to be able to get up and down a little bit, right? But the reality is, it's going to stop for us. And LeBron James has been played over 20 years in the NBA, which is unusual. But even when he retires, he's a 45-year-old man, right? Like now he's got a billion, but most of us athletes won't have a billion, and we're going to have to be able to function in society. So that's our overall goal, making sure they cross that stage and move on to a 4-year college university, and hopefully do so where it's not a great expense to them.
You had mentioned some names earlier that I was familiar with. I'm a huge Florida Gators fan, and I remember when Teddy Dupay played for University of Florida. He was
Yes.
he was like white chocolate Jason Williams before white chocolate, before the gambling
Yeah.
stuff. And a lot of
Yeah.
people probably aren't familiar with him, but he was probably one of the best guards I've ever seen, and he was right there playing along Mike
Yeah.
Miller, and a
Yes.
few other Florida greats. Um,
Oh, a very, very good player. Small guy, could fill it up, tough, hard nosed, understood the game, and was a winner. It was a winner, right? So I think that's one of the things that kind of get overlooked. I mean, greatness comes with success and winning with your team, right? Like so, if his team wasn't as good and as successful, um, would you look at him the same? I would say no, but he was a winner.
yeah, I've coached post grad going on 10 years now, at Experience Academy, and very rarely do you find a guy who actually has that Mamba mentality that they call it, and actually is able to follow through with it. Like you see guys that do a lot of hard talking about having that mentality, but to
Yep.
live that lifestyle is really something different. We talk
Yes.
about that, and this being the month that Kobe Bryant passed away. But there
Hmm.
really is something to like certain individuals, whether you want to call it a Michael Jordan mentality or a Kobe Bryant mentality or whatever mentality it is. Like they have something that the regular person doesn't have, the regular dreamer. Um,
Yes.
I know that you guys play in a very tough Chicago league. Like I was really doing some research on this. Kobe Harris, he's a former player of mine. He plays for you, and
Yes.
I'm really impressed with like this league. Like it has a lot of Chicago-born natives, so I just imagine it being tough and gritty.
Oh, it is, and it can be a shocker. Uh, my experience. We play each team twice. That first time around for a young guy can really shake them up a little bit, right? Because it's a hard nosed style, and I think that in JUCO in general, right? Like junior college will make or break you, right? You will decide whether you really love this game or not, right? And it's the one place where you have a melting pot and mesh, right? You have a all in the same place. You have future Division 3 players, future NAI Division 1, Division 2 players, future Division 2 players, future Division 1 players, Division 1 rejects, all in the same place trying to get to where they want to get, right? Like so, it lends to some really exciting, hard nosed, passionate competition, and in our league especially, it is a toughness factor that you have to exhibit to be successful.
Do you guys like how like when you're playing in this league, like is there anything that's misunderstood about like an inner city junior college basketball league that maybe people outside the city don't know or understand that maybe that we're missing?
I think there is something there. I think there's a purity there with the competition. We are fortunate to have 6 city colleges right in the city of Chicago, which is a cohort of schools. And like you talk about how many are native, right, to Chicago. So a lot of these young people at this level have been cream of the crop in elementary school, middle school, high school, and they've played each other. Some of them were teammates, right, at one point in time. So it lends another dynamic of familiarity that pride is on the line, right? From the north side schools of Wright and Truman to now you're talking about more south side with uh, us and Olive Harvey, and you can add Truman in there, and then you got right smack dab in the middle in the West, Malcolm X. All brings a different kind of feel that represents that part of the city. So we all try to win our backyards and get our top players in the backyard. So that lends to your team identity kind of attaching to the style of play in the high school uh, area of that part of town. So yeah, it's a lot of things that people don't know, and it lends for some great rivalries, great competition. You could throw the records out the window when they play.
With you guys being right there in Chicago, Chicago, from what I know, is a pretty dangerous city in as far as like certain parts of the city. Like, do you recruit from those parts of the city, and how do those elements come into what you're doing as far as building a program where you want kids to sort of stay out of certain aspects or styles of life?
Well, there are no restrictions about where I find a guy. Right now, I do my due diligence of trying to recruit character, right? Because at this level, you're a college scholarship athlete. Um, and you're representing more than just yourself. You're representing the college, right? So when we travel to Missouri or Iowa or wherever in Hutchinson, Kansas, if we're fortunate this year to get to the national tournament, you're going to be put on the stage that you're representing the college, meaning you're representing my president and my vice presidents and the people that support what we do, not only financially, but every other aspect of making sure that we have the equipment that we need, right? So I want to make sure that all the individuals in my program have the character and not maybe overnight, but have the will to change in a positive direction. So wherever they come from, whatever that neighborhood is, whatever the high school it is, I don't put up barriers, but I do my diligence to do background checks to make sure
What
that they're a good fit.
What are some schools that you have guys playing for right now that are after they left? Like, give me an
Uh,
example.
well, we Lemoyne Owen, we got a guy at Aurora University, uh, Governor State. No, this is my third year, so we don't have a long track history right now. North Park University, um, and I will say is starting the program, it was pivotal to have it with a good foundation of academics, right? But when you're starting a program, sometimes the academic part of it, right? You're pushing because the reality is without those academics now, you don't have a chance. So I tell the guys all the time, and I didn't learn this until later when I went back to get my master's degree, that 2.2 is not good enough. And you can't get into a master's program, right? Like so at the junior college level now, it used to be a place where um, those who struggled academically would end up. But with the NIL and the portal, the academics right now are at the forefront because 4-year colleges, NAIA, Division III, you have to qualify to get into those universities. And a 2.2 or 2.1 may keep you eligible here. So we really push to make sure that they have the academic foundation that they can actually accept an offer from a school. So providing that extra tutoring, but also recruiting athletes with a more solid academic foundation. Like you mentioned, Kobe played for you. Kobe, one of the things that the place for me now that was so appealing is he walked in here with a year of college under his belt with a 4.0. Right? That says something, right? Like, so now ultimately you have to go through the process, because I make sure I don't promise anything to anybody we recruit. Look, you're gonna have to play yourself to Division 1. You're gonna have to play yourself to Division 2. You're gonna have to play yourself into the NAIA. Like, I got a lot of friends in Division 1 and Division 2. But just because I pick up the phone and call them, just understand they're not going to take it because they're friends of mine, right? So you're going to have to play your way into those positions. And what makes you more attractive is having that academic, success, so that now you're more appealing to that NAIA, that Division 2. When I was at Gannon University, um, that was a cornerstone of our recruitment because it allowed coaches to expand their search so much, right? So if I come in, I'm an NAIA guy or I'm a Division 2 guy, I got this portal of money for scholarships. I try to tell my guys, I need you to be a 1/3 kid. And what that means is the academics is a third, right? So if I'm recruiting you and you have a 3.8, I know if I offer you, I can actually take half of my scholarship, put it back in my pot, so I can put you on an academic ride. Now I can go get that other guy that I need, right? It just expands my pot so much, which makes it so much more appealing to a coach while he's recruiting. So, and the next thing is, I want these guys to graduate so that they can go Division 2 or Division 1. So you want to finish at the junior college level, so all your credits transfer as well.
How do you keep players locked in academically while navigating like the inner city pressure? Like, I would imagine, I don't know exactly how many minutes you are like from the city, but I would imagine being in a place where there's lots to do that guys just want to venture out and explore a little bit. So how do you kind of keep them in a positive place to where they're getting the best of both worlds?
Well, I think it's really important. Like when the student athletes first come to Chicago from wherever they come from, right? We got student athletes from other countries, from Florida, from California, like from different areas, right? The one thing that I really kind of push them, Iowa. Look, I need you to explore the city, get to know the city a little bit. These are some things you got to do. Get out. And a lot of our housing is in Hyde Park, which is a great area with a lot of restaurants and just a great walking area to get from A to B. And that's where most of their housing is. When when they come, most most want to just get to work. Like, coach, is the gym open? Absolutely. At the gym, the gym's always open. The gun is out there for you. Like, when I say navigating after practice, the workout, I think that they have a good social life with one another after you connect those bonds. But in most cases, when they come into the city, they want to get to work. Because they're here on a mission, like we talked about at junior college level. Most of these, this is the place where you find guys that are on their way somewhere else. So a lot of them are driven, passionate, at least the ones that I want, right? Like, if the only time you touch the gym is when we have our 2-hour practice or, your individual workout, you know, you got to kind of check your thermostat. Do you really want this, right? Because the commitment and the passion that others face as they're trying to get to where they're getting, you're going to have to really put in the work. And there's no way to shortcut that. So a lot of the guys we recruit, when they walk in, they're ready to work. They're ready to go. They're like, Coach, yeah, that sounds good. Sears Tower, the beach sounds really great. Can you get the gun out for me? Which I'm
Yeah,
very thankful for that. Yeah, can you get the gun out? I gotta get my 500 shots up. I gotta get my 300 shots up. So That's been mostly my experience with, especially the out of town guys and the local guys understand the dynamic that they're trying to leave and they're trying to get elsewhere. So, um, if your team doesn't have that mentality to outwork people, it's going to be tough for you anyway.
So, what excites you about this year's team? Like, how far do you think this year's team goes? Who excites you on the floor? And what are you most excited for, like, about this team?
I think we have depth. I think we have length. I think we have um, really good players at every position. Putting it all together is another thing, right? Good good basketball players. Everybody, and I use the analogy. And when everybody walks in, everybody's the greatest TikTok dancer in the country because that's what you are. That's why we recruited you, right? We recruited you because you could play the game of basketball, right? We recruited you for whether it's your size, your ball handling, your shooting, all these things that you bring to the table, right? So we're trying to turn us into the Jabberwockies, which is a dance group that is all on the same page and tick and they talk at the same instant. So putting it all together is a journey. But I'm really happy and I like the character of my guys. Academically, they're doing well. They're putting in the work. And right now we've lost 7 games by 5 or less. And it's mostly because of youth, right? Just inexperience and things like that. But we won 5 out of the last 8. So I think we're turning the corner, and I think we're ready to make a stretch run. So our ceiling is very high. I think our ceiling is as high as it can be. I think we can win our conference. I think we can compete to win the region. Um, I think that we have that kind of a potential, but at the same time, it's all got to come together and the ball kind of bounce in your favor a little bit.
Yeah. So, what are you guys right now? 3-0 in the conference or 3-1?
We're 3-0 in the conference. 3-0 in the conference. We have a
Okay, and
we
that's
have a
what's
game.
important, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's real important. Like we have a game against Malcolm, who's also 3-0 in the conference this Saturday. So we're looking forward to prepping today. We have film session. We have a light lift and a light workout, and then hopefully we can go out there and this is a road game for us, and see where we stand amongst. There's 3 teams that are undefeated in the conference: us, Malcolm, and Olive Harvey. So this is the first time either 3 of us have kind of faced up. So it's going to tell everybody a lot.
Yeah, I was talking to Kobe a little bit, and I was asking him how we can kind of support you guys. Like, where can I get a T-shirt or something at? And he didn't really know where to direct me. But so if you'll let us know, we'll definitely get one over here ordered and
Okay.
rock one out because I want to support you guys. You have one of my players there, and
Yes.
Kobe, he's an extremely special guy. Like he loves basketball. He works hard. He really lives like the dream. Like how some people go
Yep.
out and they're posting and they're playing a little bit, but he really does like a little bit of everything. And he's a
Yes.
super quiet, kind of mature, laid back guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really hoping he does something special with you guys.
Oh, I think he will. I really think he will. And there's no shortage of him putting in the work. And that's how good things happen, right? Like you're putting in the work. He's very coachable. When people talk about favorites and coaches talk about favorites, and your favorites show up on time. Your favorites take care of business in the classroom. Your favorites work hard. Your favorites are coachable. Your favorites are good teammates, and he checks off all those boxes.
Yeah, he really does. You also had a Juan a few years ago, Cholito.
Oh, oh my goodness! And
Toledo is
he was
from
playing
my
great on.
program as well. Um,
Yes, sir.
you've had 2 of my guys over there, and we really, really appreciate it. And
Yeah,
we try to keep putting outstanding guys in school. Sometimes every other year you get a knucklehead or 2, but
it
that's just
happens.
part of the process in post grad.
Yeah, yeah. No,
So,
that.
but yeah,
But I think Toledo was one of my all-time favorites. Uh, Kind of similar to Kobe. as far as character and in the classroom and on the floor. And he ended up having a great. He went to a Division II, and now he's at Aurora University now. So he's doing really well. And I mean that guy he was the team barber, the point guard, the power
Yeah.
forward, whatever it took to be successful.
Listen, he got a lot of experience. I don't know what you know about Experience Academy schedule, but we play a tough post grad schedule. Like it's usually against teams we're not supposed to play against or be in the game against. And I
Yep.
hope it really prepares our guys for when they do leave. But you really don't know unless you're playing, like how good it prepares you. But I
Yep.
really appreciate you coming on here today and just giving us some insight about your program. I definitely want to keep up with just the entire league that you're in. It's very intriguing to me. As being from somebody who's like from down south, like to hear about these inner Chicago junior college league, like it just makes you really think about the business of basketball and all of the many avenues, branches, and things like that basketball has to offer, not just for like the inner city kids, but kids out in the country, kids out in the middle of nowhere, kids in other countries. So it's just
Yep.
good to see God use something good for that. Um,
Yep.
One thing that I'll mention real quick, we were talking about high level kids from our program to your program. Part of that is the way that we recruit to qualify kids to be pre-qualified before we bring them in. Like
Yeah.
Coach Raw Lovingsworth, he does a really good job of knowing how to interview these kids and pre-qualify them. Like we try to have some type of a process for our
Yeah.
post grad, when I don't think in most post grads there's much process at all. Just sign up or pay me
Yep.
some money and we'll take you. We sort of
Yeah.
don't operate like that. We try to really research who we're bringing in, get to know you, and GPA is one of the big ways we do that because, like you were speaking earlier in the conversation,
Yep.
if you are holding yourself accountable to outside things of basketball, then you're going to be successful at basketball. But
Yes.
if you love basketball, but you're not willing to do positive things outside of basketball to keep you playing basketball, then you're not going to succeed at anything if you don't succeed at something you love that you love.
Absolutely. And right now, just to piggyback off that before you move forward, you guys are doing a great job. Right from my experience, the guys that have come from you and coming here, academically they're on point. Character's been on point. So the process that you guys are using to filter, it's definitely showing positive dividends. Definitely.
Yeah, I'm just thankful to God I'm allowed to coach and help young men. I'm fortunate to have a guy like a general manager like Raw Lovingsworth that just sort of puts these ideas in place, or I wouldn't have probably been doing this for 10 years. But it's just such a blessing, and I'm really appreciative to have you on the show today. And if down the line as you get closer to playoffs, I'd like to hop back on and maybe get some of your other players on there to kind of tell their journey.
Absolutely. It'd be my pleasure. I would really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks for having
Thank you so much for joining the Unfiltered Truth. This is La-Troy Farrow at Kennedy King College in Chicago. Coach, we appreciate you. We hope you have a great day.
Thank you, man, and happy New Year and blessed wishes. Good luck on the rest of the season. Congratulations on that
Check your
win.
email later. I've got a surprise for you later.
Perfect. Sounds good. Thank you,
All
sir.
right. All right. See you, Coach.